Hello again, friends. Welcome back to Burger Acres. You know, it's hard to believe, but we've been out here on the acreage now for 6 months. And there's a lot of things on, you can go back and watch all the shows. But, here's a little bit of an update on some of the things we've gotten done and some of the work we've done out here. And a couple surprises and guests and comments and kind of our take on the work we've done. So let's get after it. As anyone that does homestead, farmstead, any of that kind of thing, living out here in the mountains or the prairies or whatever, wherever you have work like this that's going on, if you want to document everything, you're going to miss stuff. So I guarantee you, there's little things, there's little projects that we do all the time. Every day something's happening. And so it's one of those where, I want to give you as much information as I can about what we got going on. But realistically, you're never going to document every little thing that happens because, that's unrealistic.
Mister, you better find yourself another line of work. This one sure don't fit your pistol.
One of the projects that I've recently been working on out here at Burger Acres is this trail that I'm on right now. Now you can see over here the RTV is on the old trail here, and it goes kind of across here and takes you from one part of the property to the next. Well, upon a little bit of exploration and paying attention, walking around with the dogs and whatnot, I discovered this little spot here where, there's a little bit of a slope down here, which still needs a little bit of work. But up here is this really, really flat trail. And as we walk through there, and I've taken the tractor up here and worked the dirt quite a bit to get it to be as passable as it is right now. But up here, if you continue through this area, that again was completely overgrown with fallen trees and all kinds of stuff, you'll see that this trail leads into this perfect path, which takes you kind of in an arc around the house and the homestead. And so we're kind of working on that. I believe that originally there was probably a trail that came right through here, went back through here, as well as down through here.
We didn't know we were on sacred ground. Can't you just explain that to him?
Speaking of trails, here's another little project that we got going on here. So our property lines go down here, across to this little orange marker, across to this orange marker, and then from there it cuts across directly to those posts over there that are marked in orange. Well, it seemed to me that the trail looping around and through, although slightly, it was still looping through somebody else's property. And I don't know, to me, it's just something I felt a little uneasy about. Is it right for my trail, which really serves no purpose other than a little loop-de-loo, to impede on somebody else's stuff? No, I think that's probably a little bit unnecessary. So what do? We cut our own little trail through. I wouldn't appreciate it if somebody else did that to us, so we're not going to do that to others. So we had to fix it.
Once all the trails connect, that'll be nice to just kind of be able to hang out and drive around and know that as long as you get to a trail, you'll be able to get back to the house and not have to worry about, when Hank and Ed are a little older and stuff like that, they'll be able to kind of adventure, and you know that as long as they can find a trail, they'll get home.
I tell you, friends, there is absolutely no way in God's green earth that I could show you everything that we have cleaned, cut, and cleared out of here. Here's a prime location. this trail that I'm on right now, this little stretch has been, we've had trees cut down that you can go back and witness. We've had the dirt moved out of there, which still could use a little bit more work, but it's a work in progress. But all the same, there's so much of the day's work. As I stutter through it, there's so many days' works that are done out here, to get from, barely squeaking through an impassable trail to making it passable, and all of that. I mean, it does take quite a bit of work to get that, and you could really kill yourself trying to document all of it. But at the same time, the little poking at it every now and again really is important. I was just talking to a buddy of mine, Josh, on the telephone today, and we were talking about that very thing. He is a viewer of these videos, one of the five of you. And, we were talking about that. You could, come out here and clean and clear and work and do all kinds of things. And little by little, there's a little bit of improvements, and, little things go a long way. And he's recognized it. I know several of you have recognized it, and I appreciate all of the moral support along the way, and the tidbits and advice, and behind the scenes things that go on, and conversations that are had. And it really helps motivate us to do a better job and keep working forward on our trails, our paths, our outdoor spaces. We don't go into a lot of the inside of the house stuff because, well, quite frankly, we don't need to do a whole lot of that stuff right now. Eventually, someday down the road, there'll be more of that. But right now, we have a good place. We have a good roof over our heads, so we don't need to dwell on little piddly projects in the house when we can really utilize our time doing this right here. So let's get back into our TV and head on down the trail. This is one of those spots that I've been doing a little bit of work on right now, and trying to open it up, get a little bit of a camp area, and cleared out a bunch of the stumps, old trees. My oldest daughter and soon-to-be son-in-law come to hang out with us out at Burger Acres, and so what a fitting thing to do and have for 6 months here, to have some visitors with a fresh set of eyes and perspective on what we got going on. So it's kind of interesting to see, their take on it and everything else. So we'll talk to them here in a moment. But this whole area was cleaned and cleared. We got trees and stumps and all that kind of thing. And of course, on further down, you can see old Sasquatch Island, and spend a little bit of time cleaning and clearing that, as you've seen. And that's kind of an exciting part of our daily routine now. The young burger kids love to come down here, and they want to see Sasquatch, and we got a spotlight on them at nighttime. So lots of fun stuff going on. Let's keep moving. Yeah, we've done a little bit of trail work, so let's keep on with talking about that a little bit. So we're standing on this trail here. Originally, when we came in, as you may recall from previous videos, the trail kind of went up and around and through and between these trees here, and you had to make a hard turn to get back onto the trail, and came in with the tractor and did a bunch of dirt work and moved things and all the rest. And now we've got a trail that has a nice little sweeping curve, and that really makes it a lot easier to navigate around. Also in this spot, again, we've taken down trees and cleaned up brush and done a lot of work out here as well. Still a ton of work to go.
Big dreams die hard, baby.
One of the interesting things is I showed you the new trail that's starting to develop. Now, that trail comes in right over here and comes right along here. You can barely see it, but that's where the roadway is, right along here through this path, and eventually we're gonna tie into that. We're gonna do some work on that, get that all going, and it goes across to about here and comes to a stopping point. So then we've got to figure out, okay, where does the path continue? That'll be coming up in the future. But for right now, let's keep moving forward so you can see what we've been doing, what we've actually gotten done. So another one of our more recent projects is working out here on the orchard. A couple of new fruit trees out there. We got some dirt work to do, a couple of stumps more to remove, and it's an always evolving process, and it will be a few years before we get fruit out here, but it's just part of the process. And you don't plant a tree because you want to enjoy it today, but you plant a tree for the next generation. And so that's what we're doing, not just doing things for ourselves, but also thinking about what the future of the property is going to be, and the future owners and caretakers of Burger Acres.
Well, I guess I can understand that.
It'll be cool in the future to be able to just come down here and bring the kids, and they can just pick whatever they want to eat and go explore. And
Hank and Etta love this little spot because we call this Shrek's house. They believe that Shrek lives here on Burger Acres. And, we've got some plans for cleaning up and clearing out some things around there. But yeah, they love coming and visiting Shrek's house. And this little spot here, I mean, this is what it looked like all the way through basically the majority of the property. Just a big, tight woven thicket of briars and bushes and mess. And this is one of the clean sides. And so, or cleaner, it's not perfect, but anyway, we've removed some of the fence line out of here. We've cleaned up some of the bushes and the trees. We've cleaned up the fence lines a little bit here.
Oh, really? You and what army?
In the meantime, we'll keep plugging away at it, and we'll get around here and get Shrek's house all polished up and ready to go, and make it even more of a spectacle than it is for the kids, because they enjoy that.
It's top secret. Hushity hush.
When we first moved in, this entire field was overgrown with weeds and stuff like that, and the first shots that anyone saw up here on YouTube were coming from the road up ahead, and since that point we've got this thing mowed out. We've got our actual property lines staked out. We've got a pile of stuff that needs to be removed. We've added slowly but surely a little bit of a bridge. Still a lot of work that needs to go into that, but and cleaning and clearing of the waterway is going and ongoing. But yeah, that's kind of the way it is.
What you gonna do?
On the other side of this rock bridge here, this whole area here was completely filled with downed trees and debris and overgrowth, and slowly we've been able to get it mowed down, grassed out, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain that a little bit better from here on out into the future, so that it becomes a little bit better looking part of the property, especially as we start to think about other animals, other things, other opportunities, you know, things to come. Always something.
Honestly, the part I enjoy the most is probably down by where all your creeks get together. Kind of like where that, what is it, the pig little lot that you haven't explored yet. We went down and walked to that this morning, and it's very peaceful there. You can hear all the creeks running, and kind of just nice to sit there and relax.
Another one of the projects off the trail here has been putting this little footbridge across this little area. It's not real steep, it's not real high or anything like that. There's just a lot of swampy water and whatnot that's going through there. And it's one of those things where, boy, makes a little bit of difference when you're trying to walk across there.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. It looks awesome.
Out here at the hunting lodge, we still have a little bit of cleanup to do. And one of the many, many burn piles, I think we've got somewhere around a half dozen or so burn piles around here. And slowly but surely we're getting them knocked down and taken out. And, you know, we've got all kinds of briars and things like that to be taken out. But, you know, these bushes here, they're not briars. They're just, there was actually a fence running through there, so we had to trim it up to get that out of there. But another one of the videos that you saw not too terribly long ago was the cleanup of this little water spot. And the water's still flowing and going through there. And we'll continue to clean and upgrade and keep her going.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Well, and that's kind of the basics of what we got going on. Sure, there's a few projects around the house, the garage, a few little things that we've done, you know, here, there, not mentioned here, but a few little things, but nothing major. I think that's the major bit of it. A lot of work with roads, trails, trees, and you know, getting things cleaned up around here, and just enjoying the outdoors and the space we have, the wildlife and scenery and all of the rest that we get to experience out here on Burger Acres, and having family out, friends out to enjoy it with us when hopefully when things start to get back to normal, like pre-2020 times. You know, hopefully we'll be able to have more of that, but we live with the reality that we have to live in, you know. So with all that in mind, appreciate you coming along with me to see what we've got going on. Thanks to Brooklyn and Dakota for humoring me in the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.